All right, we will get started here. Let me turn off that and turn on this. Okay. Hey, hi out there. Welcome. It is Wednesday. I am July 8th, and we are here for another pop-up session. It's another little daily movement routine we can all do together. Let's see. What are we going to do today? We're going to do level 1 of mat Pilates. You can see that. So I was trained, and Bucky was actually trained through the Fitness Formula Club's Pilates certification. And they broke down mat Pilates, all the different exercises, into 4 different levels. So today I was inspired just to go through level 1. As I put in the class description, level 1 does not mean easy. So it does not mean that this is going to be a necessarily easy session, but we're going to get back down to the foundations of Pilates, the fundamentals. These were the exercises that we learned first, so then we could build upon them for everything else. So that being said, they are a little bit more accessible for some bodies. But of course, modify whenever you need to. Not all bodies move the same, so there might be some modifications that you still need. And I will be throwing in some of my own variations and my own personal midnight spice to the exercises too. So don't necessarily take this as like the end all be all of what Joseph Pilates did, because I'm sure I will add my own flavor to it. You will need just a mat or something to lay down on, and if you need it, I usually grab this, but I don't think I will today, a little towel to roll up and put underneath your back to help you with a roll up. I have the confined space where I can kind of cheat and put my feet up on something to help me roll up, because I have my sticky spot is right here in the lower back, and it's just really hard for me to flex my spine there to round my spine. So I have difficulties doing that, but that's also why I should be working it all the time. Okay. I guess let's just get to it. I also thought today we just won't have music. Let me know in the comments if you end up hating that. You're like, please put on background music again. But yeah, I thought for today it'll just be you and me, or me and the camera. Yeah, let's go at it that way. So we're gonna begin. And actually, we're gonna begin by standing up. Now, this isn't the first exercise. Let me take away some of this noise up here. This isn't the first exercise in level 1 mat Pilates, but I always like to start standing, and they did teach that in our certification program to start standing. So, or we did that often, I should say, start standing here. Let me tilt that up a little bit. So we're just going to start upright. Bring your heels together, toes apart, and go in this little section. This is what we call our Pilates V. Pilates V is very similar to first position. So when I teach bar, I teach first position, that heels together, toes apart. Typically, maybe first position, if you can, you want to be a little bit more turned out. And Pilates V is a little bit more narrow. But I don't have the greatest turnout, so my Pilates V and first position look about the same. So you just have to kind of figure out what works for you. Squeeze your heels together, squeeze your inner thighs together, draw your belly button in, zip up through the midline. Imagine energy going straight up the center line of your body, all the way through the crown of the head. See if you can feel the muscles tighten in on that midline and then lengthen up. Right? This is the sensation we want in Pilates all the time, that tightening in and lengthening, oppositional force. Lift the heels up and down. We're going to end this way, so oftentimes I like to begin the same way that we end, just so we can see if we feel any differences. Squeeze the heels together. When we lift up on the toes, we tend to like to roll our ankles out. Resist that urge. Press over the big toe mound and try and keep the heels glued together. It's going to work the inner thighs more. For me, it works back here more too, but it's mostly going to protect your ankles. The muscles on the outside of your ankles are a lot weaker than the inside, so we sprain our ankle on the outside all the time, right? So we want to press over that big toe mound and protect the ankles. Hold up at the top and just see where your balance is today. Ooh. Pull the belly in. Maybe this is the first balance you've tried today. Lengthen to the crown of the head. Bring it all the way back down. Right. Cross one foot over the other foot. So it's called sit to rise prep. Bring your hands out in front of you. Bend the knees. You can let the heels lift. Do any adjustment you need of the feet and try to go down as low as you can without using your hands. Knowing you have to stand back up again and then switch over to the other side. Yeah, going down and up. We do this a lot in Pilates, or at least I do. And I know one of the other instructors that I trained with and trained from, she does this a lot too. But this is one of the methods that they use to determine longevity. So out of all of the activities, out of all of the exercises, they went around to different cultures, different people, and they asked them to just do the sit to rise test. If you could cross your feet, if you could sit down without using your hands and stand back up again without using your hands or your knees. And they found that the cultures that were able to do that without putting down longevity, the longest life. So it really tests out your balance, your stability, your flexibility. So a lot of stuff going on for this very simple movement. So it's great for us to work on. Okay, going to the edge of your mat, we're going to do that, going all the way down. Tailbone goes down. See if you can go all the way down on to the mat. Maybe you need to put some hands down. That's okay. But just see where you were today. Go lay yourself all the way down the mat. Bend your knees. Let me adjust this camera again. Close your eyes. Give yourself a moment. Breathe into your belly. Shift that down. Just take a moment. Turn this way. All right. So we're all down here together. 1, 2, 3 of the belly. I cue this a lot. Number 1, suck the belly button in. So pull the belly in, trying to tighten up my belt around my waist or trying to button that last button of my tight pair of pants. 2, lengthen my tailbone. String on my tailbone is going to pull away from me. So I think of it too as like you're doing a little bit of a tuck of the pelvis. So 1, suck the belly in. 2, lengthen the tailbone. 3, take these ribs and try and draw them down and in. Yeah, just do that again. Since this is level 1 foundations, we're getting back to fundamentals. 1, suck the belly in. 2, lengthen the tailbone. I also feel my lower back push into the floor when I do that. 3, tuck the ribs down and in. Hold this. Try and see if you can still keep the collarbone open. So I'm not like hunching my shoulders. So the collarbones are open and the ribs are tucked in. Belly's in. Tailbone's lengthened. So much to think about. It actually feel pretty effortful to keep that engagement. I feel my abs right now working. They're not just hanging out easily. Good. Go ahead, release that. Give yourself a moment. Breathe. So first exercise of level 1 mat Pilates is the 100. Classic, right? Classic 100. Pull the belly button in. Lengthen the tailbone. Tuck the ribs in. Bring the knees to tabletop position. Curl head, neck, and shoulders up. You do not have to. You can keep your head down, but the classic position is to curl head, neck, and shoulders up. Keep the chin lengthened. Back of the head is reaching up and around a giant orb. Bring the arms up about knee height and then down to parallel. Up to knee height, down to parallel. That is your range for your pump. Let's go. Pump. Breathing in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Out. 2, 3, 4, 10. In. Out. 2, 3, 4, 20. Now, as you might know, out. 2, 3, 4, 30. You can straighten your legs. Out. 2, 3, 4, 40. You can lengthen the legs away from you. Out. 2, 3, 4, 50. You can keep the knees bent wherever you need to be. Out. 2, 3, 4, 60. But keep that 1, 2, 3 engagement of the core. Out. 2, 3, 4, 70. And keep pumping through those arms and stabilizing through the body. 2 more breaths. In. 2, 3, 4, 5. Out. 2, 3, 4, 90. In. Out. 2, 3, 4, 100. Bend the knees. Relax head, neck, and shoulders down. Give yourself a gentle little rock and roll side to side. Into our roll up. All right. I like to warm up this roll up. So as I said, I have a sticky spot in my lower back. So just rolling up right away usually never works for me. So I like to kind of warm it up first. Reach my arms up towards the ceiling. Then plug my shoulders back down into my shoulder sockets. So just notice that. The arms reach and you plug them back down again. Try to keep the arms plugged in as you curl yourself up, just the upper torso. Keep the head lengthening long and then curl back down. Good, just that much again. Curling up and curling down. Good, now do that, but keep the arms, maybe you're reaching back behind you and trying to curl the biceps or ears in between the biceps and back down. Good, again, curl up and down. 2 more. Curl up, maybe ears trying to come in between the biceps. Maybe it happens today, maybe it doesn't. Last one. All right, here we go. We're going to try to go to the full roll up. I am going to clasp on to this because I will need a little assistance. This is where you can put a rolled up towel in your lower back, or you can just go for it, or you can grab behind your legs. Curl yourself up to that point and then try and, if you can, keep your hands back behind you. I will need to reach my arms forward to peel myself up. Keep the roundness in your spine. As I come forward, I keep the belly pulling in. There's a big orb in my belly that I'm rounding over. Then curl back down. Tuck the pelvis. Lengthen back out. Again, reach up. Curl the head up first. Then try and curl the rest of the body up. Reach yourself forward. I always kind of slide myself back. Curl back down. So this is all about articulating through the spine. Each little vertebra, individual vertebra, wants to hit the floor at a different time. So this is really about going slow and controlled. Try not to use momentum. That's why it's so hard. Curling up. Going at your pace, though. So I have a lot harder time curling up. Everything likes to come up in one unit, so it's on the way down. That's when I have a little bit more control. I'm going to try and slow it down and try and push into the back and see if I can unstick that spot a little bit more. Last time, wherever you are. Curling forward and curling all the way down. All right. Into our single leg circles. Keep those legs lengthened. Reach one toe up towards the ceiling. Other leg is down on the floor and foot is flexed. Push that heel into the ground. Circle around the midline, up, stop at the top. Circle down, around, stop. So single leg circle, not about how big the circle is. It's about how still you keep your body. Suction your muscles to the floor. Draw the belly in. 1, 2, 3 connection of the core. And keep your body as quiet as possible. Circle other way. Circle around, cross the midline, pause at the top. Try to hit the same point every time you stop at the top. So you have precision and control. Swoop down around, pause. I feel this in my legs. I feel this in my core. If I'm really pressing in through my arms, I feel it in my back body. This is, again, surprisingly effortful for how simple it can look. Switch over to the other side, lengthen that leg away, flex the foot, bring the other toe up, point through the toe, circle down around, pause at the top. Circle and pause. Breathe. If you feel your body shifting around too much, maybe bring the circle in a little bit smaller. Totally great to have the circle super small. And you're just feeling where your body can go. You're kind of pushing yourself to whatever your limit is. Circle other way. That point where you feel your muscles contracting, your muscles having to work, but you're not losing your form. So it just takes some awareness, some body awareness, listening to your body, adjusting, making those small little changes or big changes. Last one. Good, lengthen it all the way down. Hold here, we're gonna do a little variation. So just bring one knee in just so we can give it a little stretch. Maybe straighten that leg, give it a little stretch in the hamstring. We all need more stretches in the back of the leg, the hamstring. We're gonna do that single leg circle again, a little variation. We're gonna take the arms away from it and just see if it feels different. It will feel different for me, I know. Point flex that foot, give it a little roll around. Okay, start with this leg. So flex the foot, Reach the toe up towards the ceiling. Now take your arms and bring them overhead. If this does not feel comfortable, you can also reach them out, or you can reach them out to a T position. But try not to use your arms. Now, same thing, circle around, pause at the top. Right, my circle has to be a lot smaller now in order for me to keep control, keep my hips steady, and my abs, my core is doing all of the work here. I'm pushing my back into the floor, so back body as well. Circle other way. Try and relax the neck, try and relax the jaw. My muscles sinking into the floor, breathing. Pause at the top, reach that toe down, reach the other leg up, little break first, bend that knee, give it a little pull in towards the body, straighten the leg, grab on, above or below the knee, give it a little stretch. Point flex that top foot. Notice again, if one side's a little tighter than the other, it's pretty normal to have that. Just always working on evening ourselves out. Also notice, I have a hard time doing this. Straighten this bottom knee. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, that bottom knee is straight. And then I look and I'm like, nope, it's not. Really try to straighten that leg as much as you can. Flex the foot and open up the back of the knee. All right, arms overhead again. Circle leg around. Down, around. Pause at the top. Swoop. And pause. Now you can try going bigger, but again, it's reaching that limit. So how big can you go, but still keep control? How big do you need to go to feel the muscles working? Circle other way. Muscles working, challenged, but still in control. Around. Reach that toe up. Pointing through the toenails. Straightening that bottom knee. One more. Pause at the top. Good. And straighten all the way down. Just for fun, go into a couple roll-ups again. Curl yourself up. This is not necessarily the order of traditional classical Pilates, but again, we're adding our own little spice and variety. I know I need to work on my roll-up more, so we're going to throw in a couple more of those. That being said, I don't like doing roll-up. It's not my favorite Pilates exercise, but sometimes that means it's the one we got to focus on a little bit more. One more. Okay. Rolling like a ball. I like to start this one on the floor just to warm up the spine. Grab onto your ankles and start just giving yourself a gentle little rock and roll right here. Just feel the pressure into your spine and try and feel again if there's any chunky parts. Then keep going until you come all the way up to sitting, and then we can go into full rolling like a ball. Scoot yourself to the edge of your mat. Reach around your knees, grab onto your ankles. So knees are going to be about shoulder width apart. I find balance on my tailbone, trying to round my body and trying to get my ears in between my knees. May not happen, but that's what I'm trying to do. Inhale, roll myself back, round through the spine, try and massage the spine, roll back, come up, try and find that balance at the top. Now I'm trying not to use momentum. Let me move my pants out of the way here. I'm really just trying to tuck the pelvis under. And this is one where it may take you a couple tries before you kind of feel it out. I'm also trying to not kick my legs overhead. So that feels way easier because I'm using momentum, right? My feet are kicking overhead. Oh, it feels nice. It feels fun. If you want to do that actually, first for fun, you can. But the actual exercise is keeping the heels glued in towards the glutes as much as you can. And then trying to find that balance at the top, which is having a hard time doing there. Inhale, exhale. Couple more. One more. Hold at the top, or try and find your balance. Bring one knee in, lower yourself down into your single leg stretch, and switch, and switch. A lot of Pilates, especially in level 1, is about that rounding of the lower back. So the tucking of the pelvis under, that low back likes to arch, that sway back is what a lot of people have. And it's just hard. It's hard to tuck that pelvis under for a lot of us, not all of us. Pull the knee in, lengthen the leg out. Hold on one side. Hold. All right, reaching that leg as long as you can, then pull this knee in. Feel that oppositional force of the knee coming one way and the toe reaching the other way. Belly still pulling in. Switch. Pull the knee in, lengthen the toe out, reach the crown of the head, switch, and hold. We move through these positions so quickly we sometimes forget the intent of the actual position. Switch, hold. Speed it up again for 8, 7, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Release it all the way down. I'll give you a little break before we go into double leg stretch. So ab series is a series of 5. In level 1, we only do 2 of what's in the ab series, although I may cheat a little and have us do all of them because I like clumping ab series together as a group of 5, just so people understand what the entire ab series is. Plus, the entire ab series is really good for us. So, second exercise of ab series of 5, is double leg stretch. Both knees hug in, curl yourself up like you just did in that rolling like a ball position. So I'm tucking my pelvis under, I'm pulling on my legs, and for me, what I find helpful is to push my knees back into my hands, and that helps me deepen the rounding of my spine. Lengthen out to hollow body, hold. Ears in between the biceps, lower back pressing to the floor, legs reaching, circle back in, hold. All right, hollow body position. That is not necessarily a Pilates position or term, I don't think. It's more of a circus term. In my aerial dance training and circus training, we use this position a lot, hollow body. It's a very strong position, but it's hard to hold. It's a lot of abs, a lot of core. You have that lengthened away position, but lower back is still pushing down, belly still sucking in. A few more. Reach out. If you cannot get to that position today, if your lower back is arching off the mat, you can definitely reach more up towards the ceiling. That'll feel a little more accessible. Or just don't go out as far. Just reach out a little bit. Tuck back in again. And some days are better than other days. We're all on a movement journey. Don't judge where you are. Just honor your body in the space where it is today. Last one. And in. Good. Drop the head down. Shake it out. That was exercise 2. All right. Little preview into level 2 Pilates. Let's go into scissors. That's our third exercise of the ab series. Lengthen one leg, other leg lengthens, grab above or below the knee, but not on the actual knee. Again, option to curl head, neck, and shoulders up for the classic position, though I find you can also do it with your head on the ground. Do a pulse, and switch. So at low pulse, you're gently pulling the leg closer to you, then switch. Have the inner thighs, have the ankles brush against each other. So you're touching the legs in through that midline every time. Now, I like to add pulse, then lift my chest up higher, switch. Use the hands on the leg to lift up a little bit higher. Pulse, lift higher. Let's speed it up. Pulse, lift higher. Pulse, lift. Pulse, lift. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, and rest it down. Relax the head side to side. Lower and lift. Fourth exercise of the series of 5. Legs go up. Head is supposed to go up, but again, you can keep your head down, or if you need to, you can put the hands underneath your tailbone for a little extra leverage. Otherwise, hands behind the head, curl head, neck, and shoulders up, reach the legs long, lift the legs up. Legs are lowering down, keep squeezing through the inner thighs, keep the belly pulled in. It's very similar to that hollow body position in the lower half of the body. So your body, your core is having to stabilize. You're keeping the 1, 2, 3 connection as the weight of your legs is trying to pull you out of that position. So that's what's working the muscles. The muscles are having to hold that position, even though the force of your legs is trying to draw out of it. And you go down as far as you need, as far as you can feel. Last one. Yeah, bring it in. Shake out the head. Fifth exercise. We're almost there. It is our crisscross. the way this was explained to me, it's like a bicycle, but you keep your head lifted the entire time. So in a bicycle, you cross, and you come down, then cross, then come down, right? So crisscross, you try and keep the head lifted the whole time. In fact, imagine there's a little spike right underneath your neck, and you want to lift up higher in the middle. So we cross over one way, bring out the torso, try and lift up higher in the middle, and then cross the other way. Oh, that makes it so much harder. Come in through the middle and cross. And trying to keep the chin lengthened, center, and cross. Looking over that shoulder, bringing out the torso. Holding this position, really feel that twist over. And I feel my obliques a lot more as well. This is another one of the exercises where if you slow it down, I think it benefits the muscles more than when we just go really fast and we just try and like speed it up and bang it out. One more each side. Make sure you even out. Last one and release. Ooh, that is it. That is your series of 5. That's a full ab series. Single leg stretch, double leg stretch, scissors, lower lift, and crisscross. You made it. All right. Oh, now sitting yourself all the way up. Ooh, spine stretch forward. Face this way. Spine stretch forward is an exercise that I think it's hard to feel. For me, it was hard to feel. Feet are about hip width distance apart. I was like, this doesn't feel like anything. You really have to go a little bit more internal, and it's more about sitting up in the posture. Hands reach out in front of you. Pull the belly button in. I'll show you what it looks like from this angle. Draw the belly in. Round yourself forward. Again, imagine that big giant globe, orb in your belly, and you're rounding up and over that orb. Reaching the arms, reaching the head. Then stack the spine. Sit up tall. Again, think posture, posture, posture. Show you what that looks like from the side. Again, pull the belly in, big giant orb in your stomach, and you're reaching forward. So it's not a leg stretch. If this were a leg stretch, I could reach all the way here, but my orb is gone. So I gotta keep that orb there and try and think of stretching into my spine, and spine stretch forward, then stack each vertebra up on the other one, the next one. Sit up tall, and again, reach forward. Some people have really tight hamstrings, and just sitting upright with straight legs is not feasible. So if you need to, you can bend your knees and keep this just staying up tall. Or you can also grab a yoga block or a little booster seat, and you can sit up on something. That'll give you some extra space to lengthen the legs. But wherever you can go, the most important thing is being able to sit up tall at the top. So if you're in a position where you are too tight and you're sitting up tall, it looks like this, you got to make an adjustment. Bend your knees so you can sit up taller, or get yourself a booster seat so you can sit up taller. It's all about that posture, reaching up to the crown of the head, pulling the belly in, tuck the pelvis under, orb, feel your abs crunch down, lift up. Good, hold it down this time. Bring your hands down to the floor, wherever they can reach. So it's going to feel a little awkward, but hopefully it'll help you feel your abs a little bit more. Now push into the floor. Instantly when I push into the floor, I feel my abs contract. That's the contraction I want to happen every single time. Push into the floor, feel the abs contract, press, feel the abs. Also feel my arms a bit too, yes. Just trying to wake up that core in this position. Good, sit all the way up. Try and do that same contraction of the abs and curl forward. Same exact amount of intensity into the abdominal wall. Sit up tall. All right, saw is next. Open up, feet wider than the mat. This one, some people open up like really wide, like really big straddle. You don't need that big of a straddle. If that feels good in your body, but most of us can't twist that far, and we're going to do something funky like lift our hips. So it doesn't have to be, just a little bit wider than the mat for your open position. Arms out to a T. Inhale, reach up to the crown of the head. If you need to, bend your knees or sit up on a bolster so you can really sit up tall. Exhale, twist one way. Let's hold here before we saw down. Doing a little prep. So just hold here. Then notice if your feet or your legs shifted, if your hip shifted, if one hip lifted up, everything is grounded down just from the hip bones up. You twist. So you may not twist as far, but you're truly going to be rotating from the spine. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist other way. Oop. Watch out, spatial awareness. If you need to, you can put your fingertips on your shoulders if you don't have enough space. Just hold here, try and keep everything centered from the hips down and corkscrew lift from the hips up. Okay, come back center and twist one way. Let's add that saw. Pinky finger towards pinky toe. Reach. Both sit bones stay down. Back hand reaches up like you're trying to high five the ceiling back behind you. Reach here. Draw your ear or your cheek down towards that knee and look back behind you. Hold. Come all the way up. Inhale. Exhale. Twist the other way. Pinky towards pinky. Hold. Backhand high fives the ceiling behind you. Cheek or ear down towards the knee. Look over the back shoulder. Hold here. Breathe. Come all the way up. Let's speed it up. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. Saw. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Saw. Inhale, up. Again, twist. Inhale, twist. One more each side. Twist, saw it down, lift it up. Last time, saw it down, lift it up. Nice work. Good. Give yourself a little shakeout. We're going to add a boss pose here just because we can. Interlace the hands behind the head. Open up through the chest. Lift up. We've done a lot of flexion as well. So a lot of that rounding forward. We're about to get into some back extension. So let's start by just opening up the elbows. Reach up through the heart. If you need to adjust your feet, you can. All right. Okay, flip it onto your stomach. Swan prep. We're just moving right along. We're almost through this level 1. Hold your breath on your stacked hands. Swan prep. So I always like doing this before going into a full swan. Again, just to warm up the back. Belly button pulls in. Talk about this a lot in my classes. Imagine there's a tack or an ice cube underneath your belly button. You're trying to lift it up off of that tack. It's very subtle. The belly button may not move that much, but it'll engage the muscles, the transverse abdominals. So it's going to help protect your lower back. Hover your hand and your head off of the mat, then lower back down. Just that much. It does not have to be high. It does not have to be big. In fact, I would ask you to check in with yourself. If you're lifting up too high, if I lift up here, it's because I'm arching my lower back and I'm pushing my belly into the floor. I want to keep my belly button sucking in. Don't push my belly button into the floor and lift up using my back body, upper back muscles, not cranking into my lower back. Sometimes I feel it's better too if I bring my hands out to a skydiver position. So that's hands out to a T, thumbs up position, and then squeeze shoulder blades. Lift. It's more about lifting my arms and squeezing my shoulder blades together than about how high my chest goes. Feels a little bit more like I can get into those muscles. I can find them in my body a little better that way. A couple more. Hold it up at the top. Wherever you are, just do little pulses, little gentle pulses. Lift, 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 lift. 8, 7, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Bring it all the way down. Yeah. I'm going to show you a little variation of this. You need to take a shakeout before you do it. Please do. So, hands, or if it's not accessible, go back to hands underneath your forehead. Otherwise, go hands behind your head like we do in boss pose. Open the elbows up. Now push your head back into your hands with that same lift and lower down. So to open up your elbows more, it's also going to work the muscles in the back of your neck to push into your hands. And those muscles are great to strengthen to combat all of the forward leaning we do, all the downward looking at our phones and computers we do. So press up, lengthen, and down. Keep pushing the elbows back. The elbows are going to want to drop down here. Don't let them. Keep pressing them back behind. Reach. A few more here. Definitely feel this in my upper back. Feeling that heat and all the muscles in between the shoulder blades. 2 more. Last one. Good. Bring it down. Push back to a child's pose. Knees go wide. Big toes barely touching. Reach your arms overhead. Give yourself a gentle stretch out. All right, team. We're almost there. We only got a couple more exercises, but they're some of my favorites. Going into side kicks. Okay. Lying your body up against the side of your mat. So it's on one edge of the mat. Head goes in the hand. You can lift yourself up, have a gap between the armpits and the mat. Toes reach up and they set on the opposite side of the mat. If that doesn't feel comfortable, lay ear on the bicep. Lift this top leg up, stack the hips. Push this hip forward. Hand goes in front of your belly button. Reach the leg forward. Reach the leg back, keeping the hips stacked. Then reach forward and reach back. Okay, we're going to definitely add some variations here because this is one of my favorites. I love getting into the side of our hip and glute med, all the ooey gooey goodness. So we're going to be here a little bit longer. I'll show you some variations besides these side kicks. Main thing is, though, keep your shoulders stacked, keep your hips still, keep the belly pulled in. Reach that toe, lengthen back. So if I reach my leg too far back, my hips are going to fall back. Keep the hips right where they are, and you just go where that range of motion is. Hold the leg over the bottom leg, circle around. Maybe feeling some heat build into that glute. Circle other way. And try and stabilize with the body, just like we did with those single leg circles. Good. Hold the leg here. Flex the foot. Good. Kick the leg forward. Reach the leg back. Yeah. So it's also great just to get into those hips. You do so much sitting, you need to work the hip joints in a more 360 direction. Okay, take it into bigger circles now. Kick the leg forward. Reach the heel up as high as you can until it can't go any further, and you have to rotate it around in your hip joints. So it's carving through that hip joint. Bring it forward, lift it up until it can't go any further, and then I rotate it through and around. This is a little bit more advanced, but good for us. Still, I think, accessible for most of us. Even if your circle isn't that big, it's still working into that hip joint where you need it. Circle other way. Keep that flexed foot. You also don't work this flex position as much. Lift up as high as you can and then rotate it through and down. Yeah, kick the leg back, squeeze the glute, lift the leg up, carve it around and through that hip joint. Are you still lifting away from this bottom armpit? Okay, if the answer is no, I forgot. Or I sunk down into it, try and lift yourself back away. Oh, lifting up, around. All right, holding it here. Angle the toes to the ground, heel towards the ceiling, bend, kick, bend, kick. Little bend in the knee, giant kick through the heel, and you're kicking through a door. Can you kick a little bit higher? Should feel that burn starting to set in. Can you kick a little bit faster? Last 8, 7, 6, hold in 4, 3, 2, hold it. You lift up a little higher, hold, 4, 3, 2, 1, release it all the way down. Good, give yourself a little rub out, give yourself a little shake. Since we're here, let's go into a spinal twist. Let's take that bottom arm, bring it down onto that knee. Other hand reaches back and away. Also may feel a stretch onto that hip we just worked. Reach back. Breathe into it. Breathe into that side body. All right, switching around into the other side. Come on up. Bring it over. And lay it on down. Lining your body up against. Bring your elbow or bring your armpit away from the mat. Toes go to the other edge of the mat. Lift it up. Start with a pointed toe, reaching back. And I may need to flex just because I don't have as much space in this room. Let me see if I can scoot myself a little bit more. There we go. Good. Bring it forward and reach it back. Now, second side, never like the first because this hip is already more tired. this hip was already stabilizing on the first side. So they're both more fatigued than they were when I started that other side. So I may need to take more breaks. I may need to modify. It may just feel different. And just being aware of what your body needs. Hold it over the top leg and circle around. Keep the knee pointed forward as you circle for this first set. Circle other way. Try and keep the body still. Keep the belly pulled in. Keep the head back in line with the spine. Good. Hold. Flex the foot. Bring the foot forward and reach the heel back behind. This is dorsiflexing. It's what the more anatomical term is for it, but drawing the toes back towards your knee. It's really great, strengthening those muscles. I was once told that those are some of the first muscles to get weak once we get older. So that's why we end up tripping a lot, which is a lot more damaging, can be potentially when you're older, because you don't have as much calcium in your bones. Bring it forward, go up as high as you can until you can go any further, and then rotate it through the hip. So it's good to work those muscles in the feet. Keep us upright all day and move us around. We forget about them. Gotta give them some attention. Work them out too. Up, circle around. Oh, carving through that hip should feel difficult. I definitely feel my muscles. I'm going to my limit. And then that rotation through. I feel my muscles working to rotate my leg through that hip joint. Yeah, one more this way. Go the other direction. Kick back, reach up, go as high as you can, and then rotate around. Press back, up, and rotate. This is one that's nice to go a little bit slower. You can go slow as you need to. Resist the urge of going fast, because typically when we go fast, then we don't get into all the nooks and crannies that we're trying to get into with this movement, the way we're doing it right now, at least. Couple more. Last one. Reach it back. Bring it up around. Keep the foot forward. Heel towards the sky. Toes down. Little bend. Kick. 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 If you're stamping into the floor, can you kick up a little bit higher? Pressing through that heel of the foot. Belly drawn in. Can you kick a little bit faster? Almost there. Last 8, 7, 6, 4, 3, 2. Hold it. Hold. Lift it up 1 inch higher. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend that knee. Yeah. Give yourself a little rub out into that hip. Take this bottom hand. Bring it onto the knee. Even myself back out again. And then reach back behind you for the spinal twist. Breathing into it. Awesome work. Okay, we have plank prep left. That's it. So, I think we should probably try and do another 100 before we get there, right? We nailed it at the beginning, so we should just double our chances, go for another 100. My clients and students love when I do this in class. They love when we try to go for 200 or 300. But let's do it. Let's add a variation this time to our 100. Pull the belly button in, bring the legs to tabletop position, curl head, neck, and shoulders up. Put your hands behind your head and reach the toes up long. Turn the feet out. Do little crisscrosses. We also just got into the outer thighs. Let's get into our inner thighs now. So you're wrapping the legs. I'll turn this way so you can see. You're wrapping them around like little ballet legs, little changements. Okay, now we're going to lower the legs down and add that breathing. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 10. In. Out, 2, 3, 4, 20. In. Out, 2, 3, 4, 30. Keep going. 40. Squeeze those inner thighs together. Keep the belly pulling in. 50. Keep the length through the neck, crown of the head. 60. Train deep in through the breath. 70. 3 more breaths. Lengthen those legs a little longer. 80 in, out, 2, 3, 4, 90 in, out, 2, 3, 4, 100. Bend the knees, relax all the way down. Yeah, not too bad. We made it. Circle the knees around. Circle the knees the other way. All right, and then let's flip it over. Quadruped, hands and knees. Getting into our plank prep. Plank prep is just here, quadruped. You draw the belly button in, push through the hands, tuck one toe back behind, other toe lifts. Set the knee down, set the other knee down. Just work into plank, that's all. So let's just do that a few times. Just pressing back into plank, then setting back down. Now, try not to move your body at all. Just the legs are moving, the hips are still, the shoulders are still. I'm guessing, I know I usually have to do this, everyone needs to bring their head back a little bit more. Let that head drop, and the head back, keep it in line. If you can even put something on your back and try and balance it. Or imagine something's on your back and balancing it. Last one. Good. Give yourself a little shake out. Give yourself a little moment. All right. We're going to go up into plank. I'm going to hold that plank position. I'm going to show you some plank variations. Now, again, this technically is kind of getting a little bit ahead of level 1. We wouldn't go into full plank in level 1, but we're here. Let's do it, right? Pressing into the palms, tuck the toes under, or you can keep in quadruped as you do this. Pull the belly button in, tuck the pelvis under, release. Tuck, release. So imagine you have a tail and you're tucking it between your legs. It's a small movement. It's going to work those lower abs into the pelvic floor. And it's helping that flexion of the lower spine. I feel this pushing into the palms. But shift your weight forward and do the same thing. More into the shoulders now. I always tend to kind of aim my weight back on my plank. I always got to remind myself to shift forward. Draw the belly in, tuck, release. Tuck, release. 2 more. Last one. Hold that plank. Just hold. Press. Make sure, try and keep your hips in line. Shoulders pressing away. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Bend the knees. Press it back. Do a little child's pose. Give yourself a little moment. Oh, another plank variation. Options. You can also again do this in quadruped or in a modified plank with the knees down, just further back. Otherwise, you're up here into that plank position. Drop the hips over one side, over and drop other side. Now, sometimes you can go like into these big dips like this, but just see what it feels like to just do a little tilt, almost like you're pouring tea out of your hips. Just a little tilt, then back, tilt, and back. Keep pressing to the shoulders. Imagine like you're balancing something in between your shoulder blades. So the hips are moving, but upper torso is trying to stay still. Keep drawing the belly button in. One more on each side. Keep breathing. Keep that head back. Good. Lift up to a down dog this time. So hips lift. Press through your heels. If you need to, you can walk out those heels. Push your palms into the mat. Stretch your chest. Stretch your armpits. And breathe. All right. Walk your hands towards your feet or feet towards your hands. Give yourself a little forward fold. Just hang out here. That's it. That is all of level 1 Pilates. So maybe it felt, I don't know. Tell me how it felt. Maybe it felt harder because it was more working foundations. Maybe it felt a little bit easier because it wasn't as much like coordination and as much choreography. But hopefully it was beneficial. It felt good no matter what. Bend the knees slightly. Curl yourself up 1 vertebra at a time. All right, hold at the top. I'm going to shift this camera back up again. And then we're going to do that sit to rise test. Okay, so all leading up to this. Cross one foot over the other foot, just like we did at the beginning. Reach your arms out in front, bend the knees, come down. See if you can go all the way down to sitting. Keep the cross of the legs, keep reaching forward, try and come up and stand all the way up. Did you make it? I don't know. Did you not make it? That's okay too. Switch over to the other side. Try it on the other side. Bending down, sitting down, shifting up, and standing up. Switch over to the other side. This is hard. This is very hard. If you need to, put a hand down. If you need to, put a knee down. That's okay. So they kind of scored this. Keep switching. They scored this as every knee, everything. Like if you had to put a knee down, that took away 1 point. So you start out with 10 points, and every time you put something down, it took away 1 point. And if you were able to get up and down or down and up with 8 points or above, then that was like you're in with the cultures that had the longevity. And if you can't, if you're lower than 8, that's okay too, because the great thing about this is that you can improve this. It's not like you're stuck at whatever number you're stuck at. Whatever you are today can go up and it can go down. So that's why we got to keep moving our bodies every day. All right. Hold it all the way up, or just get yourself up to standing, however you can. Heels together, toes apart. And just like we began, boss pose again, interlace the hands behind your head, open up through the elbows, lift it through the heart, find that big space and opening through the collarbone. Stack the head back up, reach one elbow to the side, spiral the heart towards the ceiling. I mean, I'm sweating. I felt those muscles. I talked a lot more today. Well, I always talk a lot. Come up and over to the other side. So maybe I didn't talk more, but I feel like there was maybe more setup today than I sometimes do. Come up and over again. So that might have felt like it slowed the pace down a little bit, but hopefully if you were able to really focus in on the foundations and tighten your muscles and get into that deep core, you're able to work your muscles maybe a little bit more intensely than when we just speed through the exercises. So maybe not. Up and over, other side. Last time, open up to that boss pose. Oh, that feels so good. Hands come down, lifting up and down the heels. Keep the heels glued together. Just see how this feels now. Maybe how does it feel compared to the beginning of class? Maybe you don't remember the beginning of class. That's okay. Keep the heels squeezing together. Press over the big toe mound. Remember, we don't want to roll open on the toes or the ankles. Squeeze the glutes. Zip up through that midline. Keep the belly, that 1, 2, 3 connection of the core, still valid here. Tailbone is reaching down. Belly's pulling in. Ribs are pulling down and in. Hold up at the top. Arms reach up towards the ceiling. Don't mind go out of frame, but I promise they're up there. Keep the shoulders dropped. Final hold and balance. Reaching to the crown of the head, trying to feel lighter and longer for 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Yeah. Give yourself a little shake out. Give yourself a little pat out of the body. We'll end by fluffing our aura, because that's been our tradition. Take your hands, put them together. Give yourself some gratitude, some thanks. Set some intentions for you for the rest of the day today. Give a little shake out. Cross up top, in the middle, down low. Lift the energy up and let it pour down on you. Thanks so much for joining today. I hope this was useful for you. I'm doing just like a little level 1 mat Pilates exploration and maybe getting deeper into some of the movements and having some of the cues explained a little bit more. But again, let me know how it goes. Let me know if you would want to do like a level 2. Once we get into level 3 and level 4, there's a lot of exercises. So I don't know if we're ever gonna do like a full level 4 mat Pilates class. There's a lot to get through and they can be pretty complex, but if that's something that enough people want to do, then I will certainly do it. So just let me know how you feel about it. Have a great rest of your day. We do not have dance class tonight. So usually Wednesday nights we have a dance. I do a dance class, but I'm moving that to Friday night. So we will have a dance class this week, but it's moving to Friday night instead. Check that out. Hopefully I'll be here tomorrow for another pop-up been trying to do these daily pop-ups every day, Monday through Friday. It's been really great. I've been feeling better. My energy levels have been up higher. I've been researching and studying NEAT, N-E-A-T, and that is non-exercise activity time. And so my NEAT goes up when I move my body first thing in the morning, or noon time, lunchtime. But if I move my body earlier in the day, then I'm just active. My NEAT, my non-exercise activity time, goes up, and I just feel more energized, and I'm moving around more the rest of the day. I get more steps in. I want to go on more walks or longer walks. And honestly, that movement is the movement that accumulates and makes the biggest difference in your life. So hopefully this is just a springboard to the rest of the movement of your day. And we'll see you next time. All right, everyone, take care. Thanks.